So, if you're over 60, you probably feel like you've got a pretty good handle on your health routine, right? You watch what you eat, you try to stay active. But what if I told you that one of the biggest keys to managing your blood sugar isn't about what you do during the day, but what happens in the quiet hours of the night? Today, we're going to uncover 5 incredibly common sleep habits that could be secretly putting you at risk. Yeah, think about that for a second. What if the biggest threat to your metabolic health is unfolding while you're completely asleep? It's kind of a nighttime mystery, isn't it? To help us solve it, we're going to lean on the wisdom of the late Dr. Shigeki Hinohara, who was Japan's oldest practicing doctor and a true master of longevity. He really understood how these small daily choices add up. So let's dive in. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to investigate 5 silent saboteurs of your health. We'll start with how we feel our bodies, look at the rhythm of our routines, then dig into our internal environment, and wrap up with the final signal we send our body before bed. For every single one, we'll expose the hidden risk and give you a simple, powerful fix. First up, let's talk about fuel and timing. We're calling this one the midnight hunger gap. And this is a big one because it's where some of the most common health advice we've all heard for years can actually, well, backfire, especially once you're over 60. You've heard this one a million times, I'm sure. Stop eating by 6 p.m. It sounds so healthy, so disciplined, but here's the thing. For older adults, the hidden risk is that it can actually create a blood sugar roller coaster while you sleep. It's a classic case of a good intention leading to a not-so-good outcome. Okay, so how on earth does this happen? Well, as we get older, our body's sensitivity to insulin can decrease a bit. So when you go to bed on an empty stomach for a long night, your blood sugar can actually dip too low. Your body senses this as an emergency and releases the stress hormone cortisol to raise it back up. That cortisol spike can wake you up, and if it happens night after night, it can slowly push your body towards insulin resistance. And this isn't just a theory. This happens to real people. Just listen to this story from one of Dr. Hinohara's patients. She was a retired professor doing everything by the book, including eating dinner early. But she was waking up in the middle of the night, every night, feeling awful. And guess what? Her blood work showed pre-diabetes. The very habit she thought was healthy was the source of the problem. So what's the fix? It's actually pretty simple. The goal is to stabilize, not to restrict. The main rule is don't go to bed hungry. A small snack that's rich in nutrients, think a few almonds, a spoonful of plain yogurt, maybe half a boiled egg, can make all the difference. It keeps your blood sugar steady through the night. Remember, for this age group, stability is often way more important than restriction. All right, let's move on to our second habit, which is all about rhythm and routine. This is what we call the internal clock problem. Now, this one isn't about what you eat, but when you sleep. And spoiler alert, consistency is everything. We all do it, right? We think, oh, I'll just catch up on sleep this weekend. We believe that as long as the total hours add up, we're good. But the hidden risk is that an irregular schedule, bedtime at 10 p.m. one night, 1 a.m. the next, throws your metabolism completely out of whack. You're basically giving your body jet lag without ever leaving your house. And look, this isn't just a hunch. A recent 2024 study was really clear on this. It found that older adults who had the most inconsistent sleep schedules were at a much higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And that was true even if they were getting the same total amount of sleep as everyone else. That really drives the point home, doesn't it? It's not just about the number of hours, it's about the rhythm. So the solution here is all about becoming the boss of your own body clock. Try to pick a bedtime and a wake-up time and stick to them. Yes, even on the weekends. This consistency sends a powerful, stabilizing signal to your whole system, telling your metabolism exactly what to expect and when. Okay, next up, let's talk about your internal environment. We're going to tackle 2 hidden issues that can really mess with your body overnight. One is about what you drink, and the other is about the light you see. Habit number 3. This is something so many of us do, and it makes perfect sense on the surface. We drink less water in the evening because we don't want to wake up to use the bathroom. Logical, right? But the hidden danger is that even being mildly dehydrated can mess with how your body uses insulin. And since our sense of thirst can fade a little as we age, it's really easy to fall into this trap without even realizing it. And Dr. Hinohara saw this happen firsthand with a retired carpenter. The man's blood sugar was creeping up, and they couldn't figure out why. Turns out, the culprit was simply chronic, low-level dehydration. The fix? They had him drink a warm mug of herbal tea in the evening. His numbers started improving and he even started sleeping better. Think about that. A simple mug of tea made all that difference. Okay, now for habit number 4. And oh boy, this one is tough for a lot of us. It's the habit of winding down for the night with a TV show or by scrolling on our phones. It feels relaxing, but the hidden risk is that the blue light from those screens is actively messing with key hormones that help regulate your blood sugar. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this is so bad. That blue light essentially tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. This stops the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. But melatonin does more than make you sleepy. It also plays a role in managing glucose. In fact, a Harvard study showed that just one single night of being exposed to bright light before bed made people less sensitive to insulin the next morning. That's how quickly it has an effect. So the fix here is all about managing your environment. It's a two-parter. First, for hydration, have a small glass of water or herbal tea about an hour or so before bed. Second, and this is crucial, turn off all those screens at least 1 hour before you plan to sleep. Read a real book, listen to some calming music, let your brain get the signal that nighttime is actually here. All right, we've arrived at our final habit, and honestly, this might be the most overlooked one of all. It's about the very last signal you send to your body and mind before you close your eyes, and it reveals just how deeply connected our thoughts are to our metabolism. So many of us just accept it as a fact of life. My mind is busy at night. We lie there replaying our day, worrying about tomorrow. But here's the game-changing idea, that mental stress isn't just a feeling. It's a physical, metabolic event happening inside your body. It creates this vicious stress-sugar cycle. When you worry or overthink, your body releases, you guessed it, our old friend cortisol. That cortisol pumps sugar into your bloodstream for energy you don't need because you're just lying in bed. When this happens night after night, it creates serious metabolic wear and tear. The bottom line is, if your mind is still running a marathon, your body can't get to the repair shop. And if you need proof, just listen to this. A patient of Dr. Hinohara's, a retired school teacher, saw her morning blood sugar drop by almost 20 points. And the only thing she changed? She stopped watching stressful crime shows before bed and swapped them for 15 minutes of gentle stretching and writing in a journal. That's it. So the solution is to very deliberately send your body a signal that says, hey, it's okay to relax now. Create a real wind-down routine. That means no news, no stressful emails, no frustrating tasks right before bed. Instead, try some gentle stretches, listen to music, or just write down whatever is on your mind to get it out of your head. You are actively telling your nervous system that it is safe to rest and repair. And you know, all of this really comes together in this beautiful quote from Dr. Hinohara himself. He said, "Your body listens while you sleep. Every small choice before bed becomes a message to your cells. If you send calm, balance, and rhythm, the body restores itself." That's so powerful. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the quiet messages we send our bodies every single night. So as we wrap this up, I want you to think about that. Based on everything we've talked about today, from that last little snack to the light in your room to your final thoughts, I want you to ask yourself, what message is my body going to hear tonight?